Well, it's official. The big, beautiful bill has passed. What does this mean for retirees? Today, we're gonna talk about some of the upsides of the bill and some of the downsides for retirees. Let's talk about upsides first. The first upside, which is a very big upside, is the extension of the 2017 Job and Tax Cuts bill. This means that the tax cuts are going to stay permanent. Now, you and I both know nothing is permanent in tax law. Tax law is written in pencil, but it's permanent until the pendulum swings. We get somebody else who, maybe Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer, and they propose a bill to raise taxes and it's passed. So it's permanent until that happens. This is a good thing. This includes reduced tax brackets, zero taxes on tips or overtime, meaning that those retirees who might be working are going to be paying less in taxes. This is a good thing. The second upside is higher standard deductions for retirees. If you are 65 and older, on top of the normal standard deduction, you're going to get an additional $4,000 per person above 65 that you can deduct from your income. This helps lower the taxes that you would otherwise pay on Social Security. Another upside is expanded contributions to health savings accounts or HSAs post 65. What this does is this allows Medicare eligible seniors with high deductible healthcare plans to continue to contribute to HSAs post 65. And there's added catch-up limits. So you can actually add up to $4,300 more than you could previously to catch up and build up that HSA. That's a good thing. Another really awesome upside is the ongoing Secure Act 2.0 contribution catch-up limits. So similar to the past couple of years where from 60 to 63, you could contribute more to your IRAs or Roth to catch up, this continues so you can make up for lost time. Another potential upside is that small businesses may be required to have 401k auto enrollment programs. Now, this is a little bit of a double-edged sword because for some small businesses, it's more expensive to offer 401ks, but for retirees still working and might be in small businesses, this ensures that there's going to be some sort of retirement plan that's offered even if you're working for a small business. Now let's talk about some of the downsides. First and foremost, the biggest downside and why this almost didn't get passed is this is going to increase our national debt by somewhere between $5 and $10 trillion by the time Trump is done. This, in many estimations, is unacceptable. We're never going to pay this debt off, and the interest just gets worse and worse and worse. This is also going to have inflationary pressure for our country. When we print more money to fund these new things that are in this big, beautiful bill, that creates inflation in our society. Well, in order to combat inflation, you have to raise interest rates. So this affects mortgages, this affects credit cards, and it's going to stagnate the real estate market. It's going to stagnate small businesses not being able to afford to get loans to grow their business. This is going to have an adverse effect down the road because we're adding $5 to $10 trillion to our national government debt. The second downside is because we are adding to our debt, this could trigger Medicare cutbacks. Now, it's not cutbacks like you may think. It's more of a pay-as-you-go program. This would allow Medicare to offset some of those costs that very likely are going to be going up over the next decade, and also offset a lot of the inflation we're going to be experiencing, making healthcare costs also go up. So they're going to have to do a pay-as-you-go program potentially, which is going to cost the retiree more money in the long run. It also very well could limit the different types of coverages or prescription drugs that you normally would have had covered previously. That may get more restrictive. Now, initially, when the big, beautiful bill was being proposed, they were considering not taxing any Social Security whatsoever. Well, that didn't happen. They ended up instead giving a bigger deduction for 65-plus-year-old retirees to help offset the taxes from Social Security. But Social Security is still being taxed, which means up to 85% of your Social Security can be counted as taxable income. Finally, the last downside of this bill is because we are running deficits for the next handful of years because of this big, beautiful bill, it's expected that we are going to deplete and hasten the depletion of the Social Security Trust Fund, which is going to accelerate a reduction in Social Security benefits very likely in 2033. So make sure that your financial plan factors in some choppy waters ahead with Social Security. If you need help navigating what that would look like and what does Social Security stopgap fund look like, where if Social Security were to be reduced by a third, let's say, it's no skin off your back. You have a stopgap fund that kicks in and actually helps offset that reduction so you don't experience any standard of living reduction whatsoever. If you'd like to learn more, reach out to our office. We have a lot of different resources here in the link below, but hopefully this was helpful. The big, beautiful bill has passed. There's some good things. There's some bad things. Hopefully you got a lot out of this. Click like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.